I was born in Cairo, Egypt. I didn't have a lot of fun things growing up. My parents are very strict. Music was not allowed at home because it's the tune of the devil. In terms of school, we're just like, what are you gonna do with psych? You're not gonna be able to have a job. And I was like, I will be studying it. And by third year, I was. Now I'm a registered psychotherapist who's working with formerly incarcerated people who are currently on probation or parole. When I first met Sasha, she was just like this bright, bubbly person. I was just like, oh, this person's really passionate about what she's doing. And she never tried to change how I am. She's such an accepting person.
My name is Florence. I was born and raised in Toronto. My parents are from Malaysia. I was really interested in psychopaths since my undergrad. Spree killers, school shooters, mass murderers. I have a TikTok page called The Dark Triad Uncovered. I named it after the 3 deviant type of personalities. I guess the content reflects that kind of stuff.
Let's talk about the act of overkill and homicide.
I'm interested in linguistic cues of deception.
Verify potential linguistic patterns of psychopaths.
I'm interested in language of psychopaths.
Characterized by impulsivity.
The psychology of killers.
Okay, so today I want to talk about online sex predators.
Trying to talk about that content in the span of 30 to 60 seconds, it's very hard actually. That's why I'm happy to have found the Midnight Order, which has given me a chance to work with other academic women that share my interests in investigating real-world cases with impact.
Time just disappears when I'm going down an internet rabbit hole trying to find something. I am a second-year medical student. I love studying the dark corners of the human mind. I've just always had a very natural curiosity and fascination with behavior. I grew up in a very rough area of Calgary. There was just so much trauma and a need for mental health support around me. Like drugs at such an early age, and watched what it can do to people. I was always really curious why some individuals end up going down a really tragic path. And serial killers, they're on like the most intense part of the spectrum for that kind of behavior.
I live a double life. During the day, I work in a grocery store, but my true passion is to be a forensic psychologist working for the police. I was always interested in investigation. I've graduated from university. I have my bachelor's in psychology, and I volunteer with police for victim assistance support. When I was a kid, back in Kazakhstan, my dad was very violent towards my mom, and we pretty literally ran away.
Okay, thank you so much, Laura.
I feel my experience helps me to be a better counselor for the people in crisis.
Every single person needs to interact with the legal system at some point. My desire to help people kind of evolved into wanting to help break down those barriers to justice. My family's originally from Iran. In Iran, there are so many doors that are closed to women and so many choices that are just unavailable. And that's really what inspired my mom to get herself out of there and make sure that her daughter didn't have to grow up in those circumstances too. I think that's a huge part of my own advocacy work, is hearing from the people that have not been heard before.
A lot of the work that I do in criminology is looking at like criminal profiling and crime scene analysis. People argue if it's an art or a science, and I think that's like a fun comparison. My thesis is kind of focused on body disposal methods in sexual homicide cases. I'm the project coordinator for the serial homicide database. Yes, I am a database wizard. Sasha, she just had this beautifully descriptive data, and I had a lot of questions about what we could utilize it for. Sasha's always talking about the importance of like being open-minded, like considering all possible angles. It's like you want to let the evidence explain everything.